Across the street, across Main Street from here, surrounded by 5 churches, 2 banks, a post office, and a library, our village green hosts a great farmers market on Fridays in the summer and fall. In 2021, after vaccines were available and COVID cases in the community began to fall, our church began to offer in-person worship again, but attendance in person was still very low. I had not seen all of you, this whole congregation, in over a year, and my ministry felt dry, like the crusty cap on a maple syrup bottle. So I would go to the farmer's market, not just for my vegetables, but get a healthy dose of congregational life. I wanted to say hello to you, see how you are, my people, how tall the kids have gotten. My son would even come and he would play with some RE friends of his. The farmer's market felt more like church than church did. One congregant introduced me to someone new to the area. They were looking to volunteer in some local social justice projects, and I said, well, I'm the minister at the UU church right over there, the one with the Black Lives Matter sign. It's really a great community committed to social justice. Please check us out sometime. Our services are at 10:30 a.m. on Sundays. Now that's about as evangelical as I get. That won't work for us, you see. Our church is nature, they responded. Now, the tone of that response sort of irked me a little. And like any good UU minister in a small village where there is 1 degree of separation between everyone, I asked them politely with a smile, oh, please tell me more about that. And they went on to explain how Sunday mornings their family goes hiking or skiing on the mountains or rock climbing. And I left it at that, and the conversation soon ended. But maybe I should have said more. Perhaps I should have told them that basically all of us, to a lesser or greater extent, have revered the natural world since, I don't know, the transcendentalists in the 1800s. Nature is one of the few things many of us can agree on. It's embedded in our 7th principle. Who here doesn't, at least on occasion, find wisdom in wind, reverence in rain? Who here hasn't been moved by mountains, called to prayer by the prairie, or found salvation on the savannah? How much does UU church attendance drop on Sundays when the snow is just right for skiing? Or when it's one of those beautiful, sunny, warm days? Perhaps the greatest threat to Unitarian Universalism is not the New York Times and a cup of coffee, but just being in nature. Now, there has been a lot of research done that shows that being in nature is good for us. Plus, our practical experience confirms this. Nature calms us. It slows us down. It relaxes us. Just being in nature can rid us of all those negative voices, the ones in our heads that are saying we need to do more, we need to be more, that we're not worthy, that we're not deserving, that we're not adequate enough. And so does Unitarian Universalism. You have peace within you. You are worthy of love because of who you are. Now, being in nature can fill us with awe. And I'm not just talking about going on vacation to a pristine wilderness somewhere. Sometimes I take a bowl of banana and onion peels to the compost pile at night. And sometimes the sky is dark and cloudless. and I stand deliberately in the shadow of our old carriage house. And if the moon isn't too bright, I can look up and see thousands and thousands of twinkling lights, and on occasion, a shooting one. And sometimes my neck hurts from looking too vertical for too long. Where did all this endlessness come from? How did we emerge out of this? And then I head back inside, and my wife asks me, and I might say something to the effect of, you know, Ulrika, we are just puny and powerless compared to the planets. And then she would say, where have you been? I thought you just went outside in the backyard to dump the compost. The mystery of the universe is vast and endless, and it can fill us with awe. And so does Unitarian Universalism. Awe is the feeling of being in the presence of something vast that transcends your understanding of the world, says Dr. Keltner, a psychologist at the University of California, Berkeley, and the author of this really great book called Awe, The New Science of Everyday Wonder and How It Can Transform Your Life. His research suggests that the experience of awe has tremendous health benefits that promote trust and bonding in our relationships. But awe isn't just reserved for starry nights alone in the shadows of your carriage house. Dr. Keltner found out that in the simple act of witnessing the goodness of others, we also experience awe. When we light candles for joys and sorrows, and someone lends an arm to help an elder get to the worship table safely, sometimes I'm filled with awe. Or when we hear in a small group or from this pulpit that someone is working to overcome their problems stemming from their family of origin, or that they're doing the work to free themselves of racism, we can be awed by that moral beauty. We experience awe out there as much as we experience it in here. Now, I love walks alone in the forest, along the river, just trying to be mindful of the shadows of the trees and how the green lichens on the bark contrast with the sunlit snow. These need not be Grand Canyon or mountaintop experiences. It's just noticing the sunsets, the night sky, that keep us primed for mystery. But I believe practicing an everyday awe also needs to involve participation in communities that ritualize and celebrate the mystery of life. As Ursula Goodenough points out, the way that we and life emerged is a mystery. We don't need some great design or purpose. Awe invites us into a humble, tender treaty with not knowing, a covenant with mystery. Having a covenant with mystery implores us to explore. Dr. Keltner tells us that the more people are open to awe, the more they are open to new ideas, to what language can't yet to describe. Having a close covenant with mystery encourages us to experiment with our ministries and freely face failure. In this post-pandemic shakeup, we don't necessarily have to rebuild what was. We can embrace the future by taking risks and experimenting. And as Unitarian Universalists, and this congregation in particular, we have a lot to be proud of and a lot of love and awe to share with each other. One Sunday in social hour, my son had bright pink sneakers on. And one of you, not knowing that he was being excluded and teased at school for his clothing choices, said to him, "I like your style. You look beautiful." Nature says to us, "You look beautiful." And so does Unitarian Universalism. There's a mystery here. There is a mystery here gathered together in the awe of this hour, in the fact that we assembled uniquely at all, on computers, tablets, cell phones, of course in person too, to celebrate this emerging life process. This doesn't require special status, wealth, or hiking boots. So that person I met at the farmer's market 2 years ago, maybe I should have been a little bit more evangelical. Go spend your time in nature. Be healed by its beauty and power, but also sense the awe and peace we find naturally in our gathering, in our assembly. Nature and beloved community both lead us to awe and to the mystery and to healthier, more meaningful lives. After all, what is science without mystery? And what is religion without awe? When we are awestruck, we do math better. We think more clearly. We do better ministry and are better, happier people for it. Our faith calls us to revel in that mystery, to play in it, to pray in it, and make a relationship, a covenant with it. Mystery meets here in relationship with ourselves on these blue-green hills of earth. And together, we will build habits of inner peace so that we can comfort the grief-stricken, have the moral courage to resist racism and transphobia, and to end human-made climate change. We are star-born. We are earth-formed. We are endowed by the evolutionary process. We are creatively emerging. We are beautiful. Nature says it, and so does Unitarian Universalism. Amen. And so may it be.